my first opportunity. So I left prison in 1996 for the very last time. And I fell again, and I found treatment. Thank you. I fell after leaving prison that last time, but I found treatment. After 100 days of treatment, I came back to my community as a healthcare worker, taking care of the seniors in our community. And I can remember Miss Andrews, the lady I took care of. She was a diabetic, and she started forming sores on her leg. And I went to a college, a school, and I felt if I was better educated, had more training, professional training, I would be able to take care of Miss Andrews a little bit better. Right. And that school told me, no, you can't go here. With your criminal history, you will never ever become a nurse or a certified nurse's assistant, an RN. And it was devastating because all I wanted to do is to be a better caregiver. All I wanted to do was acquire skills that I could take care of Miss Andrews a little bit better. So Miss Andrews invited me to move into her home, and I moved into her home, and I got her up in the morning and put her to bed at night and cared for her. But eventually, she had to go into a nursing home, and they amputated her leg. And I wonder if I'd have got the type of training that I needed, the type of training that I was seeking, if that would have prevented her from being, her leg being amputated. While I was with Miss Andrews, I was able to save all my money, all my resources, all my income. And, you know, when they told me I couldn't be a nurse or be in the medical field, you know, I said I know what I can do. I had been learning about mass incarceration and the incarceration of so many women that actually needed health care, needed treatment instead of punishment in prison. You know. So I took that savings and I got a small house in South LA. And that house was called the New Way of Life Reentry Project. Right. And I would go down to the bus station. I'd get up, and it's a little 3-bedroom house, and I'd get up and go down to the bus station, and women getting off that bus, you know, they were my friends, you know, they were my community, and I'd say, hey girl, you know, I have a house over here. You know, would you like to come to a new way of life? It's drug and alcohol free, and we created a community. That's because SEIU gave me a chance. You know, and, you know, it's because I took that chance and nurtured that chance and built something upon that opportunity. So here, 18 years later, 17 years later, we've helped over 900 women come into, we have multiple homes now. And over 900 women and hundreds of children have lived in those homes. But to more, I have a team of lawyers now. Yeah. I say a team of lawyers. We have 6 lawyers on staff there. And if they tell you you can't go to school and you can't have a health care license, you come see us. We'll take care of it. If they tell you you can't get a license, you know, you denied. If you need an expungement, if you need Prop 47, if you have some employment stuff around being a former prisoner, having a criminal history, you come see us. We'll do it free. Because the past should not define your future. So we're not throwaway people. We deserve an opportunity opportunity to be useful, accountable, and responsible in our communities. So that's what we do. We're paying it forward. We're all paying it forward. Taking care of our community. So I'm just happy to be here. And I know without that first, what I know is I don't know what would have happened without that first opportunity. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, all right, so that's a great point. We need to bring them together, and I'd like to work with SIU Drug Policy Live in the Asian community. Bring them judges forward. Let's see who they are. Let's organize some community battles with them. And if they don't want to come, then they can't sit.
The discussion is about, do you know what judge you are electing? It's time to end mass incarceration. You need to know the judge that you are electing.
We have members in the back mics. I just want to make sure we're rotating.
That's what we can do, and I'm going to ask SEIU to look at that.
We'll look at it.
All right. All right.
Hey, because look, we're a labor movement, right?
Yeah, exactly.
And do we allow one person to be exploited?
No.
Not one person to be exploited.
Yeah.
That's right, because an injury to one is an injury to
I love that.
it's an oldie, but
and I think it's universal, right? I think, so I actually want to speak to the Asian Americans, Native Hawaiians, and Pacific Islanders in the room in terms of what we can do to really also fight for criminal justice reform and against mass incarceration. I think the first is that we need to stop being silent about it. Right? We have to address the stigma and the shame and really unravel what's really happening. Right? And recognize that it is this unjust system that criminalizes people and that is profiting, and start having a dialogue and awareness in our communities. When it comes to Prop 47, there are about 20,000 ANHPIs eligible for Prop 47 relief. Right? And yet and we've been trying to work on that and to reach out to people, but unless we stop being silent, our communities are going to continue to suffer. When right now we're at this pivotal moment in this state and in this nation to really have transformation, right? To really shift the whole narrative and shift the structure so that people no longer see incarceration as a solution, but really as the heart of the problem. I just want to add that I think another really important thing that we can do, and this is more like, what can I as a person, right, in my normal, regular daily life do? I think that part of it is we need to get to know each other, right? I think, for example, like everyone in this room, how do we get to know each other, learn about each other, share our stories? The fact is, like, my family and I would not be here in the U.S. but for the civil rights movement led by African Americans. And not a lot of folks know that, but prior to 1965, there were national origins quotas in place. So that other than from Western Europe, it was basically really difficult for anyone from anywhere else in the world to immigrate to the U.S. because of these quotas. It was only because of the civil rights movement led by African Americans that there was awareness that their immigration laws were also racist. And so that's why the immigration laws changed in 1965, and for the first time, really, Asians could immigrate to the U.S. Right? Prior to that, there was the Chinese Exclusion Act of 1882, where Chinese were not allowed to immigrate. And until 1952, Asians could not even become naturalized citizens in the U.S. So because of African Americans' courage and leadership in organizing the civil rights movement, right, that led to the changes in 1965 that have led to my family and me and many other Asian Americans being in the U.S. We have to tell those histories, right, and those stories, and understand how all of our destinies and our futures are interconnected and really pay respect to each other. Prisoners And I also want to note that AA and HPI youth oftentimes are profiled and stereotyped as gang members. So for example, over a 20-year period from 1977 to 1997, arrests of AA and HPI youth in the U.S. increased by over 700%. So in California, nearly 2/3 of AA and HPI prisoners are immigrants or refugees, disproportionately Southeast Asian, Native Hawaiian, Pacific Islander, and Filipino. And so we often talk about there's a school to prisons to deportation pipeline that disproportionately impacts Southeast Asians and Pacific Islanders. In 1996, there were laws that were passed that, IRA laws or immigration laws that essentially cause people who have been convicted of certain even non-violent offenses, and even if you're a green card holder, right? Even if you have a green card, those offenses make it mandatory for you to be deported. Judges don't have any sentencing discretion. So because of these 1996 laws, what we've seen is an increase in the rate of deportations, especially of Southeast Asians. Since 1998, over 15,000 Southeast Asians have received final orders of deportation. Over 12,000 of those 15,000 orders of deportation were based on old criminal records. Things like having drug possession, right? Even it was many, many years ago, people face deportation and have been deported. And Southeast Asians are actually 3 to 4 times more likely to be deported for old convictions than any other immigrant group. So I share this because I know in the AA and HPI community, we rarely talk about incarceration. But we have to, because not only is it impacting AA and HPIs who are incarcerated or formerly incarcerated, it is, as I mentioned, part of a system that criminalizes people of color, that disproportionately locks up Blacks and Latinos, and that is at its heart unjust. In California since 1980, 22 prisons have been built and only 1 University of California UC campus. What is wrong with the picture here? So if we care about the future of California, if we care about our children and education and good living wage jobs and healthy communities, then we have to stop locking people up.
Yeah.
We have to dismantle mass incarceration and
use the death penalty.
Together, all of us, this fight for justice, can maintain the
So you're picking this flower, and for centuries this has been used in Cambodia. And
You could make it like you could stir
this is
fry.
it here.
Yeah. You could stir
So what
fry.
part do you use?
Just like don't get the heart stem, okay? Just the one that is.
So what part is it that you get?
Like.
Let's show what you do.
Okay, we try to pick with a lot of flour that is, not too much going out like this way, like inside, just like that,
Okay.
Yeah.
And then how do you do it? How do you process it?
You boil the water and you steam it. You dump it in the.
Okay. Do you take any of this part off?
No.
Including the green part.
Include the green part as long as it's.
What about the leaf?
You don't. You eat everything.
Okay.
Whatever we pick out like that. Yeah. Make sure that it's not hard. Okay. Yeah. Just like that. Yeah. Boil the water, steam it. You could stir fry, or you could make it into flour pickle.
Oh.
Yeah. She's good at that. Cause she eats every year, like around this time, when we see yellow flour, come out and get it.
And does it have have you noticed any personal medicinal benefits from it?
Well, it's maintain her blood sugar, it don't rise up.
Oh,
But
that's
she eats
good.
A lot of this, yeah.
Then do you put anything else in the stir fry? Any seasoning?
Yes, you could add like whichever you want, salt or soy sauce.
Do you put any meat with it, or you just eat it as just as a vegetable?
Vegetable, I mean, that's optional. You could add chicken. You know, it's up to you. If you don't like a lot of meat, then you can just stir fry it plain.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, just like that, yeah. But majority, they make it into a pickle, so you get the sour taste. And you eat it with grilled fish, like salmon. Yeah, it's the best way to eat it. It's got no calorie, but it helps.
That's great.
Yeah, that's the thing, yeah. So, yeah.
I'm tasting it now.
Yeah, you don't taste
it. Doesn't have a taste.
It doesn't have a taste. It's plain.
At all.
Like
no taste.
No taste at all.
Like lettuce.
You're gonna steam it, add your own seasonal. Yeah.
That has a very good taste to it. Can you make tea out of it also? I guess you could, huh?
Yeah, you could boil it with hot water, squeeze out, and then drink it.
See, and it's kind of ripe now. You have a lot in your bag here.
Yeah. Yeah. Just try to pick the one that is
like
eatable, so that we wash
now, is there any part that's not edible?
The stem are too hard.
Okay.
We don't eat the stem.
Okay.
So we're just trying to pick only the
stem?
flower. Yeah.
No.
Yeah. No.
All right.
Yeah.
Thanks, ladies.
You're